I wasn't going to do this video. Mm-mm. In fact, my wife is going to be mad at me. But I'm going to do this video because it will be cathartic. Okay? Um, as you saw, I took a couple of weeks off because we went to the great land of Disney. Actually, it was the world. Disney World. Anyway, um, and it was fun. Essentially, this is kind of like a first world problem video. Um, the problem actually was the flight down. Okay. Um, as some of you know, the airlines are strapped for cash, so they're being more and more stringent on things. Well, this certain airliner we've flown a few times. This would be our fourth time, I believe. And this specific luggage we've traveled with there and back about six times. So this would be the seventh trip. All of a sudden, it wasn't okay as a personal item. Okay. Now, the problem is we were already at the gate. My wife and I were in between paychecks. All of our money was in Disney gift cards. We didn't actually have our credit cards. We all had Disney gift cards. This was an unplanned drama. They shook us down for $300 at the gate. Well, let me first show you the luggage, okay? So, this one was okay. This Mickey Mouse one, this one was okay. This one was not. We had three of these, and part of the problem with these wheels. So, needless to say, they didn't fit in their wonderful little metal bin. But they're about the same size, and we've actually traveled there and back six times already with these. Okay. So you can see they're about the same. In fact, my wife bought them because they stowed fine underneath the seat, and they were fine. What set me off first was the measurer lady comment that, like, well, you should have been charged the other six times. I get it. She has to deal with a lot of customers. And I wish I could tell you that I was level-headed and I was a good customer. And usually I am a very good consumer. I follow all the rules. I was a good guy. But in this instance, as where I have a high school 8th grader, and then I have a 2nd grader. I have two girls. Going on a trip to Disney. You know. In this instance, my daughters got to see me pretty weak, just because the frustration, the desperation, because like I said, my wife and I were in between paychecks. She wasn't getting paid until that Friday, and I'm a substitute teacher, and I get paid all over the place. But we weren't able to afford $300 or so because they shake you down at the gate. You know how the game is played, and they weren't going to work with us at all with anything. We didn't have our credit cards. Not that they're had any money, but this is one of those instances where a family is $400 to an emergency. They don't have it, and this was one of those instances where we didn't have 300 to get on this damn plane because of our luggage. Now, of course, I pulled a little bit of a Karen and was like, well, does anybody have a hammer? I'll just knock these damn wheels off. I wish I could tell you that I was level-headed. I really do. But I think it was like 5 a.m., 6 a.m., somewhere in there. This was really bad timing. I was not at my finest. I might have even pulled we bailed you guys out, and this is how you treat your customers. One of those. Now, the problem is, I feel bad because it's not the workers' fault. I understand they're having to deal with all kinds of stuff. But as a person going on flight, I already hate airports. The TSA, your full body cavity searches. I already have that stuff. So, needless to say, there we are, all crying because we don't have the money. They won't work out a payment option. You need to have it all right there, or you're not getting on your flight. And the best, he was like, well, we'll reschedule for tomorrow. Of course, we all have all those things. I know this is, in the scheme of things, this is not that important. But I'll tell you, in that moment, it could have been me being evicted from my house. It could have been any of those things, feeling powerless, financially very, very poor, and being punished for being poor. And my wife and I did have about 100, 150 somewhere in there in our pockets. It was all that we had. One of the workers was kind and said, if you have the money, uh, I can use my account, because they don't take cash. They only do card. And my wife was even like, I can write a. No, she didn't even have her checks, but she was like, I'll write a check, but she didn't have her check, so I don't even know what to. And we didn't actually have the money in the account until 2 days later or something like that. That's when she got paid. But I've never felt, well, that's not fair. I've had a card declined at a restaurant before, and that was kind of embarrassing, as we've all had before. But this one was particularly rough because I have my daughters crying. Um, Very masculating. uh, Very weak. We weren't going to be able to get on that plane. And it was really rough. And I wasn't going to share this with you guys, but I kind of need to, just to, because it's like this financial trauma thing. And I wouldn't mind just, having, see if other people had these kind of situations before, where it was just like, are you kidding me? And we weren't going to be able to go on that plane. It was just not going to happen until one wonderful man helped us out. And I wish I had time to get his name and get all of his information, because he saved the day for us. He helped us out. We gave him all of our cash, and he put the rest on his card. And the rest of that flight, I was pretty much just staring off into. I was a zombie for the rest of that flight, because it was one of those situations where what just happened, it was a hurricane, and needless to say, for anybody that doesn't believe in humanity, every now and then you get people that just, this will get paid forward. If you're out there, we are eternally grateful to you. We had a wonderful trip. On our return trip, we made sure that we checked the damn 3 bags. Didn't have the drama coming back. But my frustration is understanding that, this is, in the scheme of things, there are people that have to deal with way worse things. I totally get that. But in this instance, it was a lesson of, here is a corporation that I understand they're trying to pinch people, every little damn cent out of people. Okay? But then humanity shines through and tries to save each other. Yes, on our end, we should have been more prepared. I get that. And you know what? Even as I'm on the plane, when I finally get a moment to calm down, I was like, oh, you should have given those gift cards. What were you thinking? You should have given them those gift cards. I just, like, I can't believe he did. That was so nice of him. And you know what I mean? Like, I was like, oh, I need to get his information. I need to call the airline. I need to get, all the, So we're gonna work on that. The frustration, like, I've been fine with these. They're about the same size, but I understand now that they're starting to squeeze people. Needless to say, I won't be flying that airline again. The way they treated the way they treated us and pretty much cast us off. That was very disappointing. Very disappointing. We don't fly that often. I don't really like it. I'd rather have my car and drive. And you get all these traumas, which is really sad because I have a really good story. Back in pre 9/11 days, my dad would take us to the airport to just watch the planes go off. You know, back then you could go sit there and watch the airplanes, and then one day, and we'd all be like, "Oh, wouldn't it be great one day getting to go on a plane like that? Wouldn't that be great?" And then one day in fifth grade, my sisters and I were doing this, and then my dad's like, "Well, we got to get on that plane. We're going to Disney." And it was like, it's a good memory. This one wasn't. This one wasn't a good memory, and it's unfortunate. They got their $600. You got your $600, but unfortunately, it took more than just your money. Okay, and I know a lot of people feel this in different situations in their lives, and my heart goes out to them because nobody should be feel that small and that powerless and just that weak, and it's dehumanizing. It really is. I'm grateful everything worked out. We had a really great trip. I'm really grateful. That's not going to happen ever again. But that's one of those situations where, oh, was not expecting that. We'd been fine before. I mean, they're about the same size. Yeah, these stupid wheels. It was just the wheels. They fit just fine under your stupid seats. Your little. Anyway, so thanks for letting me vent. You can share in the comments if you've had similar. Also, I didn't notice I didn't mention said airline because I don't want to grace them with any possible anything. So, but have a good way. Have a good day. Bye.